How's everybody doing this morning? L.A. Kendrick. Before I start doing some big stuff, I want to talk about. I normally don't talk about celebrities or anything like that, or other ball players. Not too quick, but man, I think it's got to be said. So I'm just gonna put my little 2 cents on as far as Ja Morant. I think I'm saying his name right. That dude is tripping, man. Like, I'm trying to figure out what is he trying to do, self-sabotage? If he's got a $230 million contract or whatever they said he got, right? I'm trying to figure out, yo, what you doing, man? So you want to keep waving guns on the gram or social media? I can't quite figure that out. Like, they gave you a break the first time, you come back and do it again a second time, and you get suspended again. Like, where your boys at, man? That means something. When we were coming up, and people, it's funny when people say that, because there's something missing in this generation behind us. I don't know. They had this thing where we didn't listen to everything that somebody told us either. So I'm not trying to get it twisted and say we were perfect. That's not what I'm saying at all. But there was limitations to what we would do and would not do. And we had enough people around us, especially some of the cats we ran with, that we kept each other honest. So you'd be like, okay, I ain't gonna do stupid stuff. Or if I'm gonna do something stupid, somebody would reel you back in. Something that you knew was gonna be detrimental to you. So I always surrounded myself with people like that. Then I had my uncles, my dad, and my brothers who would bring that hammer. And my mom was pretty strict on me as well. So, we had people that watched us and made sure we didn't do stupid stuff. And again, we were not perfect. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, where are the people in this cat's ear? He's about to blow his career, trying to be gangster. I don't understand this gangster thing, man. I didn't understand when he was trying to do it when we were coming up. I didn't get it then, and I don't get it now. Because you're gonna roll up at some point. At some point, you're gonna roll up at the spot, and somebody gonna roll up on you because you're flashing that thing all the time. Like, come on, man. At some point, you gotta say, nah, this ain't what I'm doing. This ain't how I'm trying to move. But that's where you're at. You're inviting that negative energy in that situation. And the NBA ain't gonna let you tarnish their brand, man. They'll tolerate it for a little bit, but they're not gonna let you tarnish their brand. It's a business. There will be another Ja Morant somewhere. And the example that he set for like a lot of these young cats is where they'll be like, well, I wanna be like him. Okay, dude, even though you're not, you don't have an obligation to be a role model to anybody like that, but then you got a daughter, and then they're showing pictures of you at strip clubs, passed out, money all over the floor. Like, dude, it baffles me what this social media generation is all about. It's kind of complicated. And I can remember one story in particular when me and one of my boys was hanging out, and it was this girl named Nikki I was talking to back in the day. And I was about 15. And her brother Rico came in, and which I thought was kind of weird, just using these names. And he offered me and my boy some weed. And I was like, we were both like, what? And for one moment, we both thought about trying it. Then we both looked at each other and said, nah, we good. That's the kind of stuff that you turn the other person that you guys are cool with. That's the kind of stuff that you do. You turn each other away from bad stuff. You keep each other on the path to doing the right thing, because just think where you could be if you were to not have those people in your life that are quality. So that's the only time I ever even considered, and that was like for 30 seconds. But I've never touched the drug as far as, using it or smoking it or anything like that. Aspirin, yeah, but any of the other stuff, no. And I try to live by that creed. And the ones of us that didn't make it, I remember seeing a lot of them cats down at the county, and because they didn't listen or have anybody in their ear to tell them when they was doing something wrong. So now they got to spend 10, 15, 20 years of their life behind bars, limited in what you can do, can't do anything. And Kwame Brown was talking about him yesterday, and I'm trying to wrap this up, I'm trying to make this real quick. And Kwame Brown was talking about your boy yesterday. And I agree with Kwame as far as him being talented, but I don't agree with Kwame when he said that they ain't gonna replace him just yet because he's too talented. If you guys remember, any of you guys in here can remember a dude named Richard Dumas, played in the 90s. That cat played for the Phoenix Suns. That dude was a badass dude. He was, man, Richard was, he played with Phoenix when Barkley there too. And man, Phoenix, if they could have kept him, I don't think Mike and them would have got that title that year. I don't think within the next year or two, they would have, Phoenix would have been running things. Richard could jump, shoot, slash, he could handle the ball. His defense was pretty solid. He was an up and coming talent and you know, could be a face of any franchise. The boy was nice, but then he got caught with, against the NBA's anti-doping policy. And then he ended up, ball's flat. He ended up getting suspended. And I'm not sure how many times after that he messed up again, but he messed up again and he was gone from the league. Just like that. Just like that, he was gone. Talented, he had some of the most talent. I'm telling you, man, he was like, he had that, the dude was just nice. I like this game, and if anybody can remember that cat, y'all know who I'm talking about. He was gone out of the league. There's a lot of players that's been gone out of the league, but he sticks out in my mind because of all the talent that he had and how great he was. And you can even go with Gilbert Arenas. There you go. So you're gonna throw away your career and a dream, and it may not be a dream for you, but there are people out there that are trying to get to that level, or just every day trying to make book deals, get a publishing contract, get into the NBA, do something where they can influence the society as a whole, where you can influence it in a positive format. And you out here playing around. John Morant, I don't know, man. I don't know what your dad is thinking. I don't know who you listen to, but at some point, something gonna have to give, man. And the NBA, trust me, they not gonna keep tolerating you messing up like that. This is your second suspension. Man, young bruh, you need to wake up, man. And let this be a lesson to all young guys out there that are having aspirations of being successful on that level. You gotta leave childish things behind, man. Once you get to a certain level of elitism or a certain level of status, you gotta leave childish things behind, man. You cannot continue to try to live a life that's gonna be here when you're dead and gone and has no value to it. There ain't no value to flashing a gun, acting like you all big and tough. The only time you need to be flashing a gun is to defending your family, your home, yourself, somebody else. And you know, as far as felonies are concerned. Other than that, man, what are we doing? You know, I don't know how many of you cats out there had to touch, how many times you had to touch fire before you realized it was hot. Me, it was only once, and I learned to respect fire. I didn't keep playing with it. And again, I am so fortunate that I had people like my dad, Mr. Pettis. I can go down and list my brothers, my uncles, that just didn't tolerate a lot of foolishness that you would do. They would call you out on it. They held me accountable, and I'm proud. I'm glad to say that they did. So I don't know. That's my spill on it, man. John Morant, man. Let this be a lesson to any of the young cats, even in the NBA, man. Conduct yourself, man, properly, man. You ain't trying to be perfect, but do the right thing, man, and take advantage of this opportunity that you've been given to play and do something. Get paid for doing something that you love, or maybe he doesn't love it. Maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe who knows? But this generation, You guys, man, you need to stop and listen to somebody. Somebody, man. You know, because we all got an expiration date, no matter how young or how old you are. We all have an expiration date. And I don't know. But you guys tell me what you think in the comments below. I'm not trying to be too preaching, wasn't trying to be here too long. Again, you guys have a great rest of the day. Oh, as a matter of fact, like I say, don't forget to, I got a video coming up. So you guys check that out about this cat. We was at Joe's Crab Shack, and me and some other cats was hanging out. And don't forget to grab a copy of My Foes of God, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, all the good stuff. And I got another video coming out. I'm gonna put this one up as quick as I can. You guys be safe out there and use your head. Common sense seems to be not so common anymore.